Hello and welcome, dear friends. This is Lit E City, the YouTube channel that is dedicated to English literature. Dear friends, today we are going to discuss R K Narayan, one of the greatest literary spokesperson from India. His novels, his works, short stories, they are filled with typical Indian sensibility, and they are actually the first signature of modern English literature in India. As you all are aware of his we can say immeasurable contribution to the development of modern novel. Along with Raja Rao and Mulkraj Anand, he forms the trio that is most important part of 20th century Indian English literature. In this video, we will have some basic information and a short analysis of some of his novels. Okay, friends, R K Narayan, born in 1906 and died in 2001. As you can see, he lived almost a century, born in southern India and with full name Rasipuram Krishna Swami Ayyar Narayan Swami. He was born in Madras, at that present time Chennai, and was brought up at his grandmother's house. Narayan completed his education, formal education in 1930, and he briefly worked as a teacher, but later he decided to devote himself completely to the writing. In his lifetime, he won numerous awards, including Sahitya Akademi Award for his novel The Guide in 1958, and he was also conferred the highest civilian award, Padma Vibhushan, in 2000. Dear friends, most of Narayan's works are set in the fictitious South Indian town of Malgudi. This is very common information. Even those who don't have literature as their subject have heard name of R K Narayan and also his town Malgudi. Narayan is an adept artist in portraying the peculiarities of human relationships and especially ironies of Indian daily life. His vision is that of comic ironic vision, and he is quite, we can say, genial in his humor and in his treatment of his subject. He wrote 15 novels, 5 volumes of short stories, 2 travel books, numerous essays, an English translation of Indian epics, 2 plays, and his own memoir, My Days. Narayan is also the first Indian writer to have been included in The Writers and Their Work, which is a series of monographs published by the British Council. Okay, friends, let's have discussion chronological order, some of his work. Swami and Friends. It was first published in 1935 with the help of Narayan's friend Graham Greene. It is a story of Swaminathan, a young boy who lives in English-ruled atmosphere of Malgudi. So the story is set in pre-independent era. He is sent by his father for education in Albert Mission School. Teachers are apt to convert boys into Christian and are all the time insulting Hindu gods. The story begins with Swami and his friends Somu, Shankar, Mani, and P. Because of his short size, they are introduced to a new boy, Rajam, who has just arrived in the town. After initial hatred towards him, the boys finally accept him in their inner circle, and soon they develop very close friendship. Now what happens along with Rajam, Swami makes a local cricket team, MCC, that is Malgudi cricket team, and the new school, because he has done some mischievous part, he is expelled from the school, and now he is in the new school. There is a very strict headmaster, and all the boys have to take part in last up to the last period. He doesn't allow Swami to skip classes to attend the training. This makes Rajam very angry and frustrated, and he again and again tells Swami to come and to be a part of regular practice. In a race, because of this frustration, Swami throws his headmaster's cane out of the window. But now after doing this, he is scared of the result. So he runs away from Malgudi to never to return, but he becomes lost, wanders aimlessly until he is rescued because he is a local boy. Malgudi is a small town and everybody knows who is who. He has missed this particular MCC match with other local team for which he was dreaming, for which he was very keen to play, and he is very disappointed with this particular incident. Next day, Mani informs him that Rajam is leaving the town next day and forever because his parents have been transferred. In a desperate attempt to make amends, Swami rushes to the train station next morning with a book as a gift to make a peace once again to resume their friendship. He is just in nick of time, misses the train's departure, but looks at his best friend through the window. But it doesn't seem that Rajam is ready to once again be his friend. Still refuses to speak to him. Money is there, basically go between. He hand him the book. He would not take it from Swami. After having this book, Rajam tries to say something, but we are unsure about what he says because there is a loud whistle of the engine. The story ends as the train pulls away and Swami is left wondering if his friend will write and if he is forgiven. So, in this very first novel, Narayan creates, we can say, a group of characters that are very real, and he also tries to portray the psychological curvings and psychological, we can say, from children point of view. It's a very brief passage of time he portrays in this particular novel. The second novel, in fact, some more information. Graham Greene was responsible for the title Swami and Friends because R K Narayan initially called it Narayan's Swami the Tate. Tate is actually the nickname which the boys give to Swami because of his particular bowling style. Swami and Friends was adapted by actor-director Shankar Nag into a very popular television series Malgudi Days, broadcasted on Doordarshan in 1986. The second novel published by R K Narayan is The Bachelor of Arts, published in 1937. It is a story of Chandran, the final year student of BA History in Albert Mission College. He is the son of H.C. Venkatachala Iyer, a retired district judge who lives in a palatial bungalow at Lawley Extension. His mother is very pious and efficient in managing the household. She is very attached to her husband Chandran and his younger brother Sinu. He also has a very close friend Ramu with whom he indulges in we can say, funny banters and also hot debates in his college. Now, his life changes drastically when he meets Malti near a river and falls in love with her. Worried with his now he totally he spends his time totally lost in her thoughts, and he basically pursues his friends to go to their house and ask Malti's hand for him in marriage. Worried with his love sickness, his parents goes to the girl's house with a marriage proposal. Unfortunately, the girl is Manglik, and as per Indian tradition, as per Indian thinking, their marriage cannot take place, and soon Malti is married somewhere else. Dejected, Chandran leaves his home and goes to Madras to his uncle's house and starts following an ascetic life. Soon he becomes famous as a sage also, but this phase also proves to be temporary and he decides to return back because he also feels guilty for his parents. He gets a job in publishing industry and decides to marry according to his parents' bidding. His father brings the proposal of Sushila. After initial hesitation, he agrees to marry her and finally finds domestic peace and bliss in his life. A very simple novel which portrays the torment of, we can say, unfulfilled love, and also Narayan points out the importance of horoscope because he himself suffered in his personal life for because of this particular incident. The next novel published by R K Narayan is The Dark Room, published in 1938, a story of Ramani, who is an office secretary of Englandia Insurance Company. Englandia, you can understand the name made from England and India. He is a dominating husband and given to fits of anger. A quite morose type of character. His wife, Savitri, children, and servant are always remain in a state of terror. Savitri, she is confined to the dark room, that is kitchen, which is very horribly lit. She is a timid, silently suffering woman and deeply devoted to her husband. Now, Ramani, this is Savitri, sorry, it's repeated. Ramani becomes infatuated. She tolerates the violent teasing of Ramani, does not say even a single word against him. Ramani becomes infatuated with Santabai, his new office assistant. Savitri, obviously, she cannot tolerate this fact. She decides to leave the home out of frustration to end her miserable life. But she is saved by a burglar, Mari, when she jumps into the river and almost she is drowned. Then Mari, who is in the river, he saves her. Savitri is overcome with guilt and narrates her story to Mari and his wife Pony. Pony asks Savitri to come with them to their village and live a life devoted to the temple gods. Savitri agrees and with very dedicated heart, she starts working in the village temple. Soon, Savitri becomes homesick. She is also troubled with the attitude of the temple priest, who is angry and we can say not happy with this fact that a woman is getting more popularity and doing the task which is basically should be done by only men. She decides to go back to her family and house, returns to the same dark room that was her prison before. Ramani, he doesn't show any kind of change. He continues to be the same, callous to her devotion, and she continues to live a life of pain and shame. So in this particular novel, Narayan basically changes a bit his treatment. The focus is now on Indian women, a typical Indian wife, and the ending is also, we can say, not very happy one, quite a realistic one. The next novel, dear friends, is The English Teacher, one of his most autobiographical work and very popular one. This novel is also about how Narayan lost his wife, quite a beloved partner of Narayan. She also died because of a prolonged disease. This novel also portrays Krishna, who is an English teacher at Albert Mission College. But Krishna is not very much satisfied with his job, sticking to it only because it is handsomely paying, and he dreams to become a poet, mostly like the writer Narayan himself, even though he struggles to write constantly. Living away from his family, he misses his loving wife Sushila and their daughter Leela. His father sends Krishna's mother and Sushila, and when they reside with her, he finds some happiness in life. Krishna is a dreamer and he lacks a grasp of the practical life. He is an idealist kind of person, always thinking about the society and other abstract things, while Sushila exhibits common sense and practical wisdom. Thus, they both complement each other. Soon a tragedy struck and Sushila dies because of typhoid. The loss of his beloved life derails his life totally. He lost his interest in everything and his only reason to live is his baby daughter. Therefore, he spends all his energy and affection on her. During his wanderings, usual wanderings in the evening time, he comes into the contact of a sannyasi who claims to have power to talk with dead people. Now, with his help, Krishna starts having conversation with his dead wife, who tells him that she is quite happy in her other or new world. Gradually, Sushila's spirit start communicating with Krishna on regular basis on each Wednesday, advising him on his day-to-day affairs like putting the child in school. When Krishna puts Leela into school, he meets the headmaster of the school, who is another idealistic person. He is a profound man who cared for the students in his school and teaches them moral values through his own methods. One night, the headmaster comes as Krishna is getting ready to communicate with his wife. He says that he has seen his end, and because it is predicted by an astrologer whose prediction has always proved to be true to this headmaster. The prediction goes wrong, and headmasters become totally detached after this, and he gives away his family life, now dedicates himself to his school. Krishna, on the other hand, when one day the sannyasi is not able to set himself, but Krishna is adamant to talk to his wife, and he finally succeeds in directly communicating with Sushila's spirit. This gives inexplicable satisfaction to both of them. The novel ends with Krishna deciding to leave his job at the college and join the headmaster's school, devoting his time to the education of small children. Mr. Sampath, published in 1949, is another novel. The complete title and also the American title is The Printer of Malgudi. Sampath, as the title shows, is the printer of the newspaper The Banner, and the novel tells the story of his friendship with Mr. Srinivas, the editor. Srinivas, who is also a philosophical man living in the world of Upanishads, remains inexperienced in the real life of living. Prior to starting The Banner, the quarterly magazine, he has tried his luck at various jobs and has proved an utter failure. Now, Sampath takes the entire responsibility of publishing the paper on himself. Due to his promise, he works hard, sees that each issue is made available to his readers on time. But actually, Sampath is a man without moral scruples. He can do anything to earn money. They run it as long as they can, but when Sampath shuts his printing press due to lack of finances, Srinivas is forced to stop his publication as well. Sampath invites Srinivas to join him in the world of cinema, movie making. He entraps Somu and Sohanlal, the landlord of Srinivas, to become his partner. He also ropes in Ravi, who is an actor searching for a girl with whom he fell in love many years ago. Shanti is the film's new heroine. She is replica of Ravi's love, and she is, but we can say Sampath also has a romantic interest in Shanti. Now, film The Burning of Calm has to be dropped in the middle as a lot of damage is done to the studio by reckless acting of Ravi. Sampath runs away after the pandemonium in the studio, hides himself from his partners to whom he owes a lot of money. Srinivas leaves the studio, revives the banner with another printer. Sampath was not bothered about it, but at the loss of lady, money, fame, wealth, peace, he has left nothing. He comes back to Srinivas. The next work, dear friend, is Financial Expert, published in 1952. It is the story of the rise and fall of a proud moneylender, Margaya, who provides financial advice and help to customers with loan applications and other financial procedures. He usually sits under a banyan tree that is outside the main bank of Malgudi, Central Cooperative Land Mortgage Bank. He desperately wishes to become wealthy, and one day he visits a priest who tells him to pray to the goddess Lakshmi. He soon meets Dr. Paul, who has written a book on problems of married couples' sex lives. Margaya arranges to print and distribute the book. It sells extremely well, and this enterprise results in making him wealthy. Soon he opts out of this deal, and using his capital, he forms a bank and begins lending directly borrowers in his own right. Meanwhile, as his wealth grows, Margaya worries about his son Balu, who is showing no aptitude for school. There is for 3 years continuously he gets fail in mathematics. Despite tutors, he has failed the entrance examination to university 3 times. Now, Balu goes to Madras, and fake news arrives that Balu has been killed there. Margaya, he is grief stricken with this news. He goes to investigate and learns that Balu is actually alive. Overjoyed at the sight of his son, Margaya brings him home and tells him not to worry about school. Margaya marries Balu to the daughter of a wealthy tea plantation owner. Now he has become a prominent member of Malgudi's community. Balu one day asks for a share of the family wealth. Margaya is shocked and learns that Dr. Paul has encouraged Balu to do this. Now, Margaya goes to confront Balu, and he finds Dr. Paul there in a car along with 2 girls from theatre. He upsets, he starts, loses control, and have a physically fights with Dr. Paul, who takes revenge by turning all Margaya's clients against him. By the end of next day, Margaya has no money left. He implores Balu to take up residence beneath the banyan tree and begin dealing in loans, just as he once had. When Balu refuses, he decides that he will himself return to the banyan tree the next morning. Okay, dear friends, that's all with today's video. Here we have discussed some of his early novels. In the coming video, we will discuss some of his other novels. Till then, enjoy this video and give your important reviews regarding this channel and the matter we have discussed here. Thank you, friends.